Hello kids, nice to meet you again. Here in this session, we'll discuss about the assignment dated June 16th. This assignment is regarding classification of elements. Basically, we'll discuss about the introduction part of the lesson. Coming here, the first question, give reason for the need of classification of elements. To study the properties of the elements individually and specifically, it is necessary for the classification of the elements. The explanation of this answer can be given thus. If at all we go to a grocery shop to get a similar or a particular dal, but all the grocery was dumped at one place, then definitely it will be a difficult task for me, or it takes time for me to pick a dal, specific dal which I want. Similarly, today we have 118 elements. So to study them individually and specifically, if they are not classified, it would be very difficult task for every individual person. So this made the necessary for classification of elements. The second question goes like this. What is a triad? The first attempt for classification of the elements was done by Daubernier triad. So, he arranged the elements in the increasing order of their atomic weight masses in the forms of triads, where the triads are group of three elements, having similar physical and chemical properties. So, we can write similar properties in such a way that the atomic mass of middle element is mean of atomic masses of extremes. Next question. What are examples of Daubernier law of trades? So examples: calcium, strontium, barium, lithium, sodium, potassium, chlorine, bromine, iodine. Next question, what are the limitations of Daubernier law of trades? So the limitations were all the groups known at that time, or all the elements known at that time, cannot be made into triads. For example, fluorine, chlorine, bromine, they have similar physical and chemical properties, but they cannot be made into triads. Iron, cobalt, nickel, they have similar physical and chemical properties, but they cannot made into triads. And next limitation is, as the advanced techniques have been introduced, the atomic weights that have been discovered were proved to be wrong from that discovered from the Daubernier. So these are the two limitations. The first limitation is all the elements cannot be arranged into the triads. The second one is the atomic weights that were discovered by the Daubernier were proved to wrong by the advanced techniques. Next question. State the law of octaves. The next classification was done by Newland's, and the law was called as Newland's law of octaves. So, according to him, he arranged the elements in the increasing order of their masses. Say suppose hydrogen, helium, noble gases are not discovered at that time. Lithium, beryllium, boron, carbon, nitrogen, oxygen, fluorine, neon, noble gases are not discovered. Fluorine, sodium, magnesium, aluminium, silicon, phosphorus, sulfur, fluorine, potassium, calcium. So he observed that every 8th element, starting from the first, say suppose 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8th element has similar physical and chemical properties. We'll start again. If at all we start with beryllium, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Magnesium is 8th element. eighth element will be having similar physical and chemical properties. This is called as law of octaves. Every eighth element will have similar physical and chemical properties with that of the first element. Next, what are the limitations of Newland law of octaves? All the elements cannot be fit into this table. First limitation. Second limitation, after calcium, the law was completely violated. And the third one, sometimes the dissimilar elements are grouped into different elements. For example, cobalt, nickel, platinum, palladium are placed in halogen family. So these are the three drawbacks of Newland law of octaves. Next, seventh question. Chlorine, bromine, iodine are Daubernier traits. How do you justify? Chlorine, bromine, iodine. How do you justify? Simple. The atomic weight of bromine was the mean of chlorine and iodine. Next question. Define periodicity. The repetition of the physical and chemical properties after certain number of elements is called as periodicity. I repeat, the repetition of physical and chemical properties of certain interval of elements is called as periodicity. Next, ninth question. How many elements restricted Newland's periodic table? At the time of Newland's periodic table, there were only 56 elements. It was restricted to that. He didn't even left any gaps so that the newly discovered element can be kept into that group. Next, law of octaves holds good only for the elements up to calcium. I repeat the question. Law of octaves holds good only for the elements up to 40. As the atomic weights increase, the law completely failed. So this about the today's assignment. Meet you again in the next assignment. Stay home, stay safe. Thank you.